Accu Custom presents the Derby City Classic 9-Ball Championship. Hi everybody, we're coming to you live from the ACCUSTATS Arena at the Horseshoe Southern Indiana, as we always do when we say Derby City Classic. This is day number 9 of 9 days, and we are just about to the end, but not quite. Still got a little business to decide. Real quick, one more time, thank you so much to Diamond, to Simonis, and to Cyclop for their great support. Thanks to Master Chalk and our great tournament direction team from Bad Boys Billiards Productions. Also, our great hosts here at the Horseshoe Southern Indiana. All right, here's how it stacks up. There's 4 players left. None have a rebuy. We've got this match right here. On the outer tables, it's Chris Melling and Dennis Orcullo. The winners will play in the championship match. As soon as we have 2 players, it'll be 1 set for the title. It's now my pleasure to introduce our 2 competitors for this semifinal number 1. From Sioux Falls, South Dakota, going for his 5th Derby City 9-Ball crown. That means he's already got 4 to go along with his 2 Derby City World All-Around titles and his 5 U.S. Open 9-Ball titles, sponsored by Q-Tech, the USA Pool League, and Ultimate Team Gear. Kindly welcome the South Dakota Kid, Shane Van Boening. His opponent from Toronto, Canada. He's the 2012 Derby City Bank Pool champion, and he is the reigning Canadian 9-Ball champion. He's sponsored by ZE Management, by Kings of Vapor, and Ultimate Team Gear. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Mr. Smooth, John Mora. Okay, your referee for this match is Ricky Bryant. And it's now my pleasure to send it up to the booth to Mark Wilson and to the newest member of the One Pocket Hall of Fame, Double J, Jeremy Jones. Good luck, guys. Take it away, guys. Upstairs.
It has been 9 days of high-level pool, and this is the semifinal of the 9-Ball Championship. Glad to have all the viewers watching with us. And it is Mark Wilson and Jeremy Jones. And Jeremy, talk a little bit about the intensity of 9 days of high-level pool here.
Yeah, well, just that's kind of what I always thought. It didn't matter who was the best playing each one of these disciplines. It's kind of like who took advantage of the mistakes or who took advantage of the opportunities they had. Even in one pocket, you'll have a lot of guys that may not be like labeled one pocket players, but they're guys that take advantage of opportunities very well. So they do very well. So that's what I look for in this. Not only the one pocket, the banks, but also in the 9-ball. And you can see with the 4 we have left, there are 4 guys that have had incredible success, not only through their career, but lately also.
I would say Mora is the kind of guy that does not beat himself very often. Very steady, takes advantage of all the unforced errors and doesn't give them back. At Van Boening, you know, tremendous talent he is. We don't really even have to talk about that. Mora just defeated Donnie Mills, and Shane Van Boening just defeated Mika Immonen. At this point, fatigue has to be a factor, so fitness is going to count for something, because we're now, we're approaching after 10 o'clock here.
And these guys, this is the last day of 9 days, and they started awfully early every day, including this morning. So, but both these guys, Shane a little bit older than John, but both of them in pretty good shape and have had these kind of days a lot of times. So
yep. Van Boening only 34. Mora's won the lag. He's breaking here. Race to 9. 7-ball on the wing.
And we're playing winner break. So John, I've seen a lot of John lately at some tournaments, and also he came. Okay, those didn't break anything like he was hoping. That's for sure. I saw John a lot down in Texas. He went undefeated in both the events down there, the Texas State Open and the Houston Open. Just ran so many racks. It was amazing.
We had a match earlier where Joshua Filler broke and ran 7 times, not in a row, but 7 times in a race to 9. So
right.
There you go. Beat that.
Yeah, it's hard too.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure they've started on the outer match yet. Possibly.
Well, Dennis just finished this table over here, so he might be on a bathroom break or something.
He's in a tough spot on rolling out. One thing that's in his favor is the 2 is all the way down table. So he could roll out to a tough ball to pocket. He's a little worried about getting snookered some type of way. Like if he leaves him where he can cue down on the ball, he might bank the 1 around and use the 8. So we'll see.
Looks like he might be moving. No, I was thinking about
up to 5-9.
I was thinking about moving the 4 over on the 2.
Oh, that's way over hit there. I think that's going to be almost snookered, isn't it? No?
Yeah.
That's close, I tell you. And he's going to get this one back if he can only get to the edge of that ball, I think.
Right. That's where if you would bank the 4 on the 2 and the push out, even though you leave an open look at the 1, makes it really tough to play. And now you kind of extend the game and get some exchange in there. Maybe you get to the table in a little better circumstance. This is a shot that you can lose with, but it's hard to win with.
Yeah, it's almost like he has to go for this bank combination, maybe. Or can he get at this ball like fully? No way. He's got to be crossing this and running the cue ball. It's just a matter of where the 1's going, because you'll see there's traffic across the table. See, there's traffic there.
Oh boy!
He did great with the cue ball. Tell you one thing, he knew it was going to lay over there, so he was going to use the 3 as much as he could to snooker him, and that was a great shot.
He came very close to scoring the 1 too off the 7. I think he kind of planned that because he knew the cue ball would track towards the 2 if it does go in. If it doesn't, it leaves it in tangled up mess like this.
Well, he's better watch on getting 3 fouled here. Could be a tough way to get at that 1 ball here in a second. We'll see. Now he's almost got to tie the 2 up, I guess, because he's not going to do anything with the 1. But if he can graze this 1 ball underneath this 6 right here and let the cue ball come 1 rail. Oh, I wouldn't do anything like this. I don't think this is necessary. You'll see the 3 and the 7's got everything cut off on that side. So I would graze the 1 underneath the 6 and let the cue ball hit the side rail below the 8, past that side pocket and come down below the 2 again.
Yeah. Shane wants to get the 1 down there by the 2 in case he gets ball in hand, I think is his thought. But tough. I agree with you. This is easy. Yeah. And he hit the point.
Now he left him a kick. Now he got pretty fortunate that the 1 got buried underneath. No, he left him a straight kick or maybe even a piece of the 1 here. Yeah. This is a big mistake by Shane, in my opinion.
Yeah, if he just feathers the 1 over by the 6, then even if Mora can see it, there's nothing. It's even hard to play safe. So
yeah, well, I don't even know if you can get at it. Like you're going to scratch. If you can't kick to that left side rail, you can't come off the 1 at all any kind of way. And it looked really natural to do so. Also, that 3 and that 7 are really cutting him off. So this is a little bit of a dicey shot. Anytime you have to roll your ball softly, just going to an edge of another ball with another ball impeding, well, now you could easily foul.
All right.
Doesn't take much. Okay, like there.
He did not get a rail.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to kick. He was trying to hit the ball straight away.
So that is 2 fouls, right?
That is. You're right. But I don't think you're going to see him go for the 3 foul here.
No, not a good idea to mouse around with great players that kick and hit them and about 15-20% of the time get a backdoor safety out of it. So.
Yeah, especially when you're looking at you have 8 balls on the table, 9 balls on the table, so there's a lot of cover there.
Right.
That's just like I see some players when they play call shot or if they get on a little tighter table, even really, really good players, I'm talking about great players, I find they play safe too much. They get a little worried about the pocket and the call shot. They see a lot of value in playing safe, but in my mind, even under the call shot rules, you're going to have to make good shots to win if you're playing the best players in the world.
Right.
Safeties with the jump cues these days and everything, safety's just not going to get it very often.
Yeah, that is something I appreciate about this event. No jump cues allowed.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is also you're just not going to win titles playing safe. So.
Right. Ooh, he punched it a little there. And, this is what I've been noticing. Sometimes you'll see Shane's follow-through get super short, like he squeezes the cue at the end.
Well, I explain this about Shane when I teach is that Shane, a lot of shots is a hitter of the cue ball more than someone that goes through the cue ball. That's why he gets away with a long bridge, whereas I'll see a lot of people that that really don't have the build, and they really have more of the stroke that goes through the cue ball, try to have a long bridge, and it really takes away from their stroke because they don't get through the cue ball very far. But Shane is much more of a hitter of the cue ball. That's why I think you'll find also he has to continually be hitting balls to stay in stroke.
Right.
It's you can't say it's a bad thing. Obviously, he's been the best player in the world for now probably 8 out of 10 years, something like that.
Right.
So,
Yep.
but it's not for everyone. He's like a 1 in a million kind of guy.
Different strokes for different folks, but a lot of times he decelerates into the cue ball, which is kind of a no-no. But it works if you play tons of pool, and he's not the only one guilty of it. He's just the most prolific one.
Right.
He'll take a great big long backswing and then roll it. Yeah, it's like, okay.
Ooh, he wanting a little bump, but not too much. And that one got thin now.
Yeah, this is tough.
This is where the cue ball is gonna be turned loose, cutting this ball in.
And that was
he could hold the cue ball banking it, but
yeah, he doesn't want to bank this. It was brought on by he hit the pocket crudely.
yeah, he was trying to go around the 9.
Look out, scratch. One
Yeah,
rail in the
he'll
corner.
ease it though, so it doesn't scratch. Oh no, he fired it. That's what I was worried about as well. And you'll see that cue ball bend. I thought he would hit it easier, even though anytime you're cutting the ball thin, you want to add that extra speed.
I think he wanted to have a little more pace on the ball, the 8 ball, getting on the 9 in case he lightly bumped it. He wanted separation, but then he landed heavy on it.
Yeah, right.
That's not the ideal start that he was thinking of.
No, and really played a clever rollout, probably anticipating getting it back, and got ball in hand twice behind it, and then just didn't get out. And this is the fear anytime you're playing any of these guys is what's going to happen behind a big mistake.
Right.
Because that's usually when the pool gods kind of punish you a little bit.
The outcome of these matches is generally, especially at lower level play, solely determined by unforced errors. But at this level, sometimes a guy can just stick an offensive match on you where you don't have any chance.
Sure, or it's not even errors sometimes. Like you had mentioned a minute ago, the great players, they kick so well that, you don't break and get a shot sometimes. You have to play safe. The guy kicks out of it, you play safe. The guy kicks out of it. Now he kicks you to where you have to kick. You kick and hit it. Don't get safe, and that's it. It's just like who's prepared to take advantage of the opportunities is all it is. Now John's thinking about that last break, and he did switch sides, I believe. He broke from the other side first, right?
He did, yep.
And he broke dry, and I didn't like the sound of the rack either, as far as it just didn't seem as solid. I played the bank ring game last night on this table, and there's a little bit of an indentation. People get in here and kind of tap the balls sometimes, and it makes things a little difficult. So, but this is the side of the table breaking from that I saw him run so many rounds.
Well, that 9 ball came out hot.
And this 2 ball is going to get in a funny place with. Oh, it came up enough. I thought it bounced quite a bit. You're going to definitely. John's an aggressive player, like most of the great players. He's not unwilling to try and make what you might call a daring shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make it through all these killer players to be in the top 4. Kid's a shooter.
Yeah, on his last match, it was 5-5. I was watching it, and he never let Donnie shoot again. And there's another guy, Donnie. Yeah, but glad to see him. I know there's certain events he goes to, but hopefully he'll be going to more. Oh, okay. He's going to need that one to slow down, and again, just a little bit of an overcut.
1 cushion or 2? I kind of like the 2.
It depends.
It's out.
I don't know. 2, it's awfully a ways up there. I kind of like the 1 just to try and make it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I hit it, I'm hopefully going to go past the 4 with the cue ball coming down this end, and maybe if I miss it, the 2 will catch the point and go back the other way. Maybe 2 rails is awfully tough unless you're going to try and hit it with a lot of speed, to where you might get lucky with a safety a little more. But 2 rails from this angle, trying to make it in that side pocket's pretty tough.
The advantage of the 2-railer is that a lot of times you can make it in the corner pocket.
Yeah.
So Looks
Well,
like
either way,
Shane's,
I wouldn't ease this too much. I would have it at least with a medium speed. I wouldn't say hard, but
I think he's going 2.
he's going
No,
1.
he's going 1. Oh, he hit it good. Look at there. Now, Mora did win the bank pool tournament here at one point, so we know he can bank pretty well. But that was a good result given where Shane had to play from.
I think he's going to try and come a few rails and get him behind the 8, maybe. And use the 4 as an eclipse as well. There's just a lot of traffic to go the other way with the 6 and the 9 trying to get him behind the 5 and 3. I guess it's pretty doable, but if he catches any collision on the 9 or the 7, could have problems. I kind of like going the other way and going 1, 2, 3 rails and diving right below the 8.
I won't blame him if he banks at it because he can win the game with this shot. And just playing safe, you may never get another turn this good.
It's pretty thin, though, as far as he's going to have to kill the cue ball or roll it, dead roll it. So we'll see. John's a great banker. What a shot.
Awesome.
What a shot.
Yeah.
That should get an applause, that's for sure.
Yeah, what a nice, smooth hit. Bet the game on that shot.
Yeah, and you can't disagree with it just because the safety was a little funny, too. There wasn't anything just like, it wasn't a great path either way.
That was my point. It was that I think if it's iffy at all, I think I'd rather see him go down shooting rather than.
Absolutely. And you'll notice if the 3 was put away somewhere else, where it was tougher to get to, not only for himself, but for Shane, like he could play a little more of a soft safety knowing Shane couldn't get position on the 3. Well, that might have made a difference too, but.
Right.
Just like making the ball, you don't get this far without making great decisions at the right time. Great timely decisions. Okay, now here comes one of those decisions. I'm sure he'll come 3 rails to where he's kind of pointing his cue right here. The key to this is don't get too thick of a hit. You got plenty of room to hit it somewhat thin coming off the 5. Thick hit doesn't really bother you too much besides the 2 rails going towards not only laying on the rail but going towards that side pocket. So there you go, that thin hit. He wants to really get a little bounce here.
Beautiful.
Pretty much stop your ball for the 7 in the corner, correct?
Yep. Yeah, you don't want to mouse around here when you have that available. We always talk about Buddy Hall. Don't play position when you have position.
Yeah,
don't do anything extra. It just screws it up a lot of times. Where here you have a stop shot to be perfect.
Well, when you play that way too, it kind of makes you play the corners a little more often, which I think is a better way to play as far as staying in position, and it gains confidence. Like when you're not worried about pocketing the ball up in the corner from a little bit of a shot, you start playing better pool.
Yeah.
Because everything stays more natural, and your ball pocketing, confidence gets higher and higher. So.
Yeah, completely agree.
Not that John needs any of that, but it helps all of us, I think.
Of course, you're up against a guy that can beat you, so it's always nice to keep your inning at the table, keep the momentum up.
And this TV table will play a little softer than the outer tables, not so much because of the wear, but just that little heat. The ball's staying a little cleaner, a little more often. Pretty simple 9-ball here to go up 2-0.
Very nice. It's been all John Mora, and he's taking advantage of his opportunities. Shane gifted him a 9-ball in the first rack, and now he's completed a very nice run here.
I think Milling is up 3-0 in the outer table. Somebody's up 3-0, but I think it's Chris.
I know he was playing filler a little bit ago, and I said they're either on break or hold it. It was filler and Milling. That's over. They could play a race of 9 to 8. The schedule of the steakhouse appointment for a half hour and be done. Yeah, no, they don't waste any time at all. Shot clock has no effect on their game.
No, it's like Luke Salas. He beat me one time at the U.S. Open. I think it was 19 minutes. I think. Raced to 11. Pretty hard to do. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that is amazing.
But when he got going, he could play, Luke.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
I never met a man with more energy than Luke Salas. Okay, now, interesting enough, he switched back. So I think he didn't like the track the one took, that it went in the hole actually on the last game. Unfortunate here that this 6 got in the way, because he would have cut the 1 for sure, and he still may. But it's looking a little dicey, like a scratch off that 6 maybe. So
Yeah, he won't do that. He won't shoot into a scratch or potential scratch. You know what's interesting? The corner ball shot in like a bullet, but he hit it much better. I mean, look at how square he hit those and got tons of ball action.
now, is he trying to pull this, or is he banking it around and drawing the cue ball one rail behind those balls?
Behind the 6, I think.
He's pulling this, meaning if he's trying to make it, that's possible. Oh, yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
It looked like to me, even hitting it with a low ball, outside ball, to make the ball, he still had to contact the 6 ball. So it looks like he snookered him. It's close.
Shane unscrewed the extension from the back of his cue in order to make his playing cue just a little shorter. He's going to have to jump this.
Must just be a little bit if he's not using a jump cue.
But you can't use a jump cue.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me. Pardon me. Now, John's going to have to punch this a little bit or roll through this. This isn't as easy as it looks, because he needs to get past that 2 ball just a hair, or at least get to straight in. You can't just stop his rock there. I don't think, anyways.
That certainly adds complexity to this shot.
Oh, yeah. Just a little bit.
Boy, pretty stroke.
And now he looks like he may have to go forward. I don't know if he can afford to draw this ball, and it doesn't look like the 3 passes the 9 mark. So he may have to go forward coming down, but you'll notice the 4's next to the 3. Oh, he can draw it. To the side rail and back out.
Yeah. Yep. Gorgeous hit. I love the timing of Mora's stroke. If you ever notice, it's just that smooth. It just kind of every shot is the same for him.
And he's got that pause in the backswing at the back of the backswing, like Buddy Hall.
The idea being that it helps your timing because you're always making smooth transitions. You don't get quick and antsy.
Yeah, and I think there's there's not. You can't call it pros and cons, but like if you're having trouble with timing, that's a real good one to go to. You know, that'll help you a lot. You know, I'm not sure you have to have the one in the back to have good timing.
Completely agree with what you're saying.
But as far as if you're having a problem going too quick from the top or just too fast in the backswing in itself, that pause in the back helps, and the pause at the cue ball helps a lot too. So.
Yeah. Allison Fisher's another one that possesses that very thing. Mora takes everything seriously. There's never a shot that he one strokes or takes for granted or anything. Jason Shaw, on the other hand, quite the opposite. Whatever he's feeling at the moment is what he does. There's no rhyme, no reason, I think. It's phenomenal talent, however. 3-0 our score. It's all John Mora here.
Yeah, and Shane certainly made a mistake in the first game on that 9-ball he scratched on, but then really kind of a little unfortunate on a couple of John's mistakes. But nevertheless, I feel like he should have probably made that jump shot. So we'll see if what happens as far as maybe breaking and running a few racks and putting a lot of heat on Shane.
Shane and I spoke earlier about a match that he played here against Dennis Orcolo first thing this morning. Dennis started off 4-0 in front, which, Dennis is playing fantastic. And I said in the broadcast, I said, listen, you can never win a tournament like this unless you steal a match from being down 0-4. Ended up, Dennis played great throughout, but Shane whittled his way back in there and somehow at the end put on a little barrage and got 8-8 and was breaking and running out.
Missed a 7-bar or something,
yes.
right? Yeah.
But he put himself in position to win after having to fight adversity throughout the whole match,
Absolutely.
Really
It's,
cool. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's like the alternate break format. A lot of guys really get down on themselves when things don't go right early and they get down in the match. But it's the guys that stick in there and steal one out of 4 when you're down, say 7-3 in a race to 9, or you know what I mean,
Yeah,
or something like
sure
that.
do.
You're not going to win them all, of course, but
Of course not.
it's just a few extras that get you through to winning an extra tournament a year, or maybe 2 extra tournaments a year.
Right. Okay, 8 ball's the wing ball. I really like the way Mora hit the last rack if he could come up with that break again.
He needs a hair more speed on the one to get it around where he wants it. And caught the point. Caught the point.
Crushed him.
Okay, and he's going to get a nice shot here.
He'll be quite satisfied with this outcome.
Yeah, and he's really got no concern besides the 4 a little bit. I don't think it passes 7, but you'll notice he can fall real full on the 3 and play the 4 up long somewhere, whether in the side or the corner. So really not a whole lot of problems here at all. Only thing I could see besides a miss is maybe falling a little straight in on the 3 and having to roll forward and not get as good on the 4 as you want, making it missable. But other than that, and he got a little thin, so that's going to make things a little more difficult. That's for sure.
That means he's going to have to load it up with inside spin.
Well, he could ease it in and go up into just an edge of the 9. You'll notice the 5's kind of over the pocket a little. So if he just gets a decent little shot at the 4 on the side, even if he had to draw back a little bit on the 5 or even go to the rail, it should be okay. Now the 4 may pass the 7. We don't have the great look at it here.
Right.
But I don't think it passes the 9 either. So I think I'm hitting this one kind of easy, going up into just the edge of the 9. He may elect to go into the 4.
So it does go by the 9.
Okay, that was definitely
Good route.
Yeah.
Pretty straight, so you probably have to play a long 5 ball here. He's going to check where he wants to be.
And if he's got a little question mark here, he'll hit this with a little more speed if he's going right into the 6. Just to bump it and separate a little bit. You don't want to land over the top of it somehow.
I kind of feel just from the overhead like he's going to just follow and go straight in between the 6 and 9.
Oh, is it that straight on the 4? Okay.
Not positive. You might be right. Because on the camera angle out here, it looks like he can go into the 6. So.
Oh, my.
Ooh.
Oh, my.
Worst case scenario, lightly rub the 6.
Wow, that's a huge mistake in such a big spot. Sue up 3-0 and running out.
Well, that means he hit the wrong part of the pocket for what he was intending.
You would have to imagine, but it didn't seem like to me there was much concern from him.
Right.
So that tells me that he thought there was almost no way for this to happen. You know, otherwise you would stay away from it. Like if there's any chance of staying away from anything that bad might happen, you would shoot that route. So, but being on the rail, that might have eliminated that. So, we'll see. He wants to go to that side rail for sure if he can. He'd like to be able to get behind it, but I don't know if he can do anything like that. This one here, you got a couple things that you can make it straight in for sure. You could cross corner it. That happens sometimes right here. Or a lot of times you just go right around it.
Or in behind it and into the pocket off the back of the 5, too.
Oh, what a great
boy.
hit. What a great hit.
Got his money's worth on that kick shot.
I think Shane's just looking to break the balls. He got up pretty quick.
Yeah, trailing 3-0 and looking like it's going to be 4-0. He's delighted to have one crack at this.
Well, that was hit a little heavy. But these guys, when you'll see them heavy on certain shots, it's almost because they know they can cheat it a hair heavy. As long as they put a good stroke on it, the ball's not going to hang up on the way the table's playing right now. And I don't mean a whole lot, but they can hit it just a hair.
Oh, yeah, right. You know, great talents like we see here, and yourself included, they can play from even mid-length parts of the pocket to get a desired effect. That way they don't have to introduce side spin to get the cue ball go somewhere.
Right.
Consistency skyrockets from that, but unless you're a really competent player, you can't do that. But that's how I always marvel at you guys.
Oh, Mark, you don't kid yourself, Mark. I watched you play plenty. You played on the Camel Tour. You were a tough cookie.
Well, you know, I will say this. I have contributed greatly to a lot of current Hall of Famers' career. I mean, they should recognize me in their speeches and say, you know, Mark Wilson, I beat him 21 times.
I remember some matches, though. That's for sure.
I've lost to anyone you ever heard of, Jeremy.
What's that?
I've lost to anyone you ever heard of.
Yeah.
All right, this is more fun. I didn't want it to go 4-0. I want it to be I want to see a good tough bout here.
Well, I think with Shane getting an opportunity, he's going to get on the board plenty here. Not a guy that's usually too unsuccessful on the break.
No, the best breaker in the business for my money. And
known worldwide about his break.
Nobody hits him square. Look at the 6 ball. He just punishes that wing ball. It just goes in the middle of the pocket. Oh, the 1 ball got a little funny there. He was looking good all the way to the last half of turn with the ball. Well, he can maybe go after the cross corner if
I
he
like
wants.
it. It looks like he's close enough to it that he can draw down in between the 4-9, trying to play a little bit of a safety unless it just dead hangs.
Right.
If he wasn't that close to it, it's too much cut to do that, I think. But he's so close to it, I think he can pinch it pretty well. I like him going for that and diving down for either the 2 in the same corner or the 2 in the side.
This is almost that same circumstance when Mora banked the 2 ball in that early rack, and I said I like him because even if you get a safety, you still don't have to win from there, you know.
Right.
So,
Right.
and are you really going to get a better shot later on, or maybe you don't get a shot? Or here, at least you have a shot.
And for Shane's, you know, as far as Shane's concerned, he's got an element of safety along with this shot. So
True.
It's even
Yep.
it's even a better situation, I think. He hit a little high trying to guard, but he did draw this ball right behind him. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what,
Outstanding pool.
if this 4's got him cut off, he's in trouble. If this 4's got that cut off, he's in big trouble now. He's going to have to zigzag the cue ball on the 1.
That's
yeah,
you don't get separation even if you do hit it, you know.
Well, yeah, you got to get a little lucky there, but it looks like to me he can get a lot of speed on the 1 if he hits right before the 3 ball and goes that route with the zigzag, or after the 3 ball, either one, whichever way, if he wants to kill it or spin it.
As soon as you introduce the zigzag, though, now the likelihood of you controlling it is greatly diminished. I mean, you can miss the entire ball by a good bit.
Is he trying to spin it and get past the 8 and get to the 1, or is he going back and forth? It looks like he's. Oh, good try. And you'll notice he, just as Mark talked about, that type of shot, you lose a lot of energy coming across with that 2 rail. So he put a lot on it to try and get something happening just in case he hit it.
Tremendous effort. Yeah, proud of him. Just Shane got him in a real bad place. And Shane's looking to make something happen from here.
And I think he'll follow to the rail right before, over in there and just take a little longer shot. And what happens here is he'll add some right spin. That way he goes towards the 2 once he hits the rail. Like so, and there's never ever going to be a real bad spot there. So now he'll have a nice natural 1 rail angle. He's got to be a little concerned about the 8, though, when he comes back up the table. He's not playing short side here, is he?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't.
I don't think he is.
Yeah. Okay. Nice shot and a real nice line on the cue ball there. And with the other balls so available, that's when you really guard against getting snookered. You know, like you can almost work on a lot of things, even though it's going to take a little more effort now that he fell a little straight in. He made sure he wasn't getting behind that 8.
I think he's going to pull it back just an inch or so.
Yeah.
just to take that 7 ball out of the equation. He's comfortable enough to play the 5 in the corner from a little bit longer range. It just didn't want to rub that 7, and that's why he pulled it back a ball's width. Now it's just over to the side cushion and back out. Love the way he hit that ball.
That's perfect because not so sure the 7 passes the 9, but even if it doesn't, he's good. He's got an angle just to slide over for the corner he's standing near.
I'll tell you, Shane's fitness level may come into play here tonight because it's going to be a long night yet. And it's not the fact that you can't physically do it. It's that as you get tired, you don't longer focus the way you should,
Right.
need to play high performance pool. There's that little poke that I described. Yeah, and it takes away his speed control. He doesn't finish the follow through. And it's abbreviated. He didn't used to do that, but in the last year, he's kind of turned up doing that some.
I think it's even been a little longer, I think. I've watched Shane a lot. Living in Vegas there for a year during the bonus ball, I did a lot of his tar matches. So not only did I watch him play a lot of long races, but I would go in there and watch him practice. And I learned so much actually watching him practice. But I noticed on some shots he really stops at the cue ball. He's more of a hitter of the cue ball. And if you're John, though, that's got to be a little concerning that the way those balls broke last time. It wasn't just an inch from being a throw-in as far as the 1 ball.
Well, Shane had a big decision from his break. He tried the bank, got safe. Mora had a tough hit, didn't connect, and Van Boening captured the ball in hand, took advantage of it. 3-2's our score, Van Boening breaking. You like the new racks, or do you prefer the template?
Well, the template, there's certain things that are an issue with both of them. I guess pros and cons you could say for both. But one thing about rotation pool that concerns me with the template, and I'm not saying it's not the right thing to have a perfect rack, but you don't get to see the level of play these guys really have, I don't think. Like as far as like breaking balls out, just think about that. How often do you have to comment about guys having to break balls out anymore?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
true.
there's just a number of things that don't come up in the game as much. So, okay, John's not happy with something as far as the rack, and there's been a few issues today.
Yeah, but when I break, I don't make gaps. You're making gaps. Try one more time. Just move forward anyway.
This is one of the issues with having the template. Then this is eliminated for the most part.
Yeah, I wish we played the 9 ball on the spot rules. I like those rules better. It toughens up the game quite a bit.
Okay, here we go. The 8 ball. It's a wing ball. It's been shooting in like a bullet because of the square hit. The heavy blow landed by Shane on the 1. Did not go this time. Cue ball centered up. The 1 dropped.
Is he going to get a shot on the 2? I don't think so.
No.
Not a good one anyway.
And this is tough to work from here.
Yeah, the side pocket just really keeps him from doing a whole lot productive coming off the left side of the 2. Hey, and if he can get at it, he'll play this bank combination possibly. He's not taking much time either.
He might have the bank combination. It's not hanging, though. He has to make a good hit to do it.
Yeah.
Pretty shot.
And one good thing about that shot is that everything was in line with his, like, as soon as he got down the ball, he's making the combination is right next to his face. And,
Yeah.
Everything's kind of lined up. So I liked him shooting at it for sure. Got to make a nice one here if he's going in the side. I don't think he has the corner, so he's got to get by the 9, probably with some top right English wrapping the corner coming out for the 3, and you'll still see the 4-5. There's a little bit of trouble unless it goes in the side. Does it go in the side, Mark? Good chance.
Yeah, it does go in the side. But it's a big shot here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the type of shot when you're having to load it up with more spin, when you become a little more hitter of the cue ball, your speed has to be a little more precise. I think the follow-through stroke, meaning the stroke that goes through the cue ball a little more, allows a little more air, room for air.
It seems to me that I would describe it like this. Like those guys that have that good follow-through, their tip stays on the cue ball, that extra little moment,
It
split
seems
second,
like it to me, for sure, yeah.
and it gives them a little more control, a little higher consistency. When you squeeze the back end of the stick to stop it short, then that distorts the tip minutely getting to the cue ball, and you lose some accuracy from doing that. He may make anything, but in this particular case, he's going to get punished for this, I'm afraid.
Well, it's going to have to go. And got there. And now I think
Really
the 4 or
good.
5 is playable. Maybe the 4 goes by the 5 in the upper corner.
No, just being able to work in this close proximity here, even if he gets an ugly angle, say he mishits it slightly, he can still defend himself quite easily.
You would think. Sometimes the balls get a little funny where you can't run them too safe. But normally when you have a couple of them there, you can figure something out.
Exactly, and that's what I meant. That enables you to play a little more confident position. You can go
absolutely.
for something because you know you can defend yourself if you don't quite get it.
Now he wants to stay away from colliding with the 8, I believe. Yeah, that's a great touch there.
Yep.
Staying close to it. And that's another thing Mark was talking about. Like he's got a little angle one way or another, but if he just absolutely gets down and decides to not like it, he's got an easy safety, as you can see. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not one to recommend shooting a safety in this spot. I think great players should go down offensively most of the time, but well, he might be playing safe here. Doesn't look like he's shooting it in the corner, that's for sure. And if he's shooting it in the side, he's going to have to try and get position. So, yeah, he must not have been a full pocket or something, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe he thought he was going to have so much the best of it with the kick shot.
I really think that he was, I don't know how close. Yeah, he's pretty close to the 5. So here on the overhead, definitely looks like he's almost touching the 5. That's a good view. And so if that's the case, that really, now he's got to kick a couple different rays. He maybe has to kick this way to try to get into the back of that 4 ball.
Looks like he's going to have to curve off near the point of the side pocket and spin hard towards the 4.
But that's saying, I think that the 5 ball might have him from
yeah,
there.
but that's what I mean. Create the angle to curve into the
I see.
rail and make it bend that way.
There's a good look there, and you can see. I mean,
Well, the 2-rail angle he's looking at right here is not going to gain much speed either. So,
no, everything's tough. This is a bad spot for Shane. He's going to have a hard time having any velocity on the impact with the 4 if he does hit it.
One good thing about that, though, is if he does get some impact, he may not leave a great angle to get on the 5. I don't think the 5 passes the 8. Wow, what a shot.
Yeah, that was good effort there.
What a shot. And again, he's made it tough. He's left him on the back rail. He's got a shot in the corner that's, he's a favorite to make. But once you start having to add a bunch of speed to the cue ball trying to play position, well, now the shot becomes a little tougher. I wouldn't be surprised if John just hits this with a good medium stroke, get to the center of the table, and play the 5-8 combination. I don't see any reason to try and overload it and try and get to the short side of the 5. He did, and this is why I was a little worried about trying to do that. He hit it great. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're going all the way down table. You're coming off the end rail. You know you don't want to baby it and end up on the short side or on top of the 5, so you add a little more speed. Where I just think as straight as he shoots, if he had gotten out in the center of the table, the combination, he's going to bury it. So
Right now he's wishing he had that combination.
Well, and he can't be too upset other than being hooked. He hit the ball well. So just keep doing what you're doing as far as and wait for your next opportunity. He may kick this ball in and run out the set. You never know. But as far as even you tell the amateurs, get the run started, meaning get to the next shot. And right there, I think he could have done that a little better.
9 ball?
9 ball. Oh, wow. Well, watch this 5 ball. Is he going to get all the way down or is he going to snooker him? Or is he going to leave him a bank on the 9? Wow.
I don't know what he has here.
No, it goes all day. It goes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you can definitely stiff that up on a diamond table for sure. 100%. The only way you can miss this is if you try to figure out how to miss it, meaning don't try and go too tightly to the 8. You have plenty of room to let the 5 hit the bottom rail and still make the 9. And don't overhit it, trying to make it stiffen up too much and lose accuracy. See that? Yeah, easy shot.
Beautiful
Nice
shot. All right. Interesting turn of events here. We are now tied at 3 games apiece. So it's been a fun time, a fun week here. I will have to pay for it next week, though. I'll have to do 2 weeks worth of work for being gone this week. But I do it every year.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, I don't regret it. It's worth it.
Okay, now on the outer table, I'm not sure if the score has been marked or not. It's either 3-2, Chris, or 3 games apiece. I'm not sure. Dennis is racking and breaking, so John and the referee both are checked. Now he's changed to the side rail. So he's worried about not making the corner ball now. So he thinks he can make the 5 for sure. He knows he's going to sacrifice possibly not getting his easy position on the 1. But he wants to make sure he makes the ball.
This shot here, I'm always an advocate of cinching it, meaning not try to draw big, but it makes the 2 play a lot more tough. You know?
Yeah. Well, what happens here is when you say cinch, okay, there's nothing wrong with that word, but cinch it with the decision you're making, meaning don't hit it with a cinch stroke.
Right.
Like decide
right.
I'm just stopping my ball and hitting it with a good stroke and taking the shot. A lot of people say cinch, meaning like, oh, let me try and ease it in, or let me try and open the pocket up. Oh, wow.
He went without the cinch stroke. He went aggressive to get it back, and it rimmed the corners of the pocket, went across the table and in.
Yeah.
Shane's a little.
He's okay though. He's gotten to where he just needs to be able to get from the 3 to the 4.
Have you spent any quality time with Shane?
Well, I mean, we were on a Moscone Cup team together, and we've spent some time at tournaments together, you know, and not a ton outside, outside of the pool tournaments.
For me, I've been around him enough that as much as I admire his game, I admire him even more as a person. That's how much I think of him, and he's got the great attitude because he's not afraid to lose, and that makes him ultra tough. You know?
Oh yeah.
And where you see some guys, they get their ego invested, and then they're afraid to lose, and then they don't play. So. Last night we did a broadcast in here, and he worked with me. And he was down to earth. He said, listen, Bustamani's got my number. He's beat me so many times. I mean, but most guys never hear that. They always just, they go ego and I never lose.
Right. And you got lucky and everything else. Yeah.
Right. No, there was none of that. There was, everybody respected it. And certainly admire him even more for that because we know he's the best. He doesn't have to tell us. That's why we admire him. That worked out good.
And he's going to have some not only shooting the 4 from a little bit of distance, but he's going to have some good speed falling on this back rail. So it looks pretty natural to me. I don't think he has to draw off of it is what I'm saying. Like he can just hit it with a high left ball.
Yeah.
Now he'll cue down and he may draw and make it hit a little higher up and then fall down below the 7, making it a little harder. Like this. But see, when you hit it a hair thick, some things don't always work out. Ooh, I'm talking about by the hair of his chin.
Yep.
Wow, and that's what we were talking about earlier. More of a hitter of the cue ball right there instead of letting the ball run naturally with a little side spin. And there's a few great players like that. There's not as many. It's just like not having the pause at the cue ball. There's a few guys that were great players. Efren Reyes, who Efren's a little different though. He does have the pause in his swing. But he pauses before his last 2 swings. It's just totally different. He does a few wind up, then he has a little pause, then he does his last 2 swings every time. So it's a little different, but Charlie Hillbilly Bryant's another great player that's a little more of a hitter of the cue ball. He doesn't quite go through it as much. Okay, that's good speed there. Got a little bit of a roll. Not
sure.
a little bit one, but a big roll.
But if you don't take advantage of it, it doesn't mean anything. So
yeah, and I'm a firm believer that they all break even in a sense, you know.
Yep.
So
yeah, Van Boening here. He did make his decision. He was not cinching the one ball. He was drawing back, and that caused him to lose just enough accuracy. They rimmed the pocket, went across the table, fell in, fluked it in, but then he turned it around. Played a real good rack thereafter.
yeah, if you played enough 9-ball, we've all seen that shot where it doubles the pocket and goes over, or it doubles the pocket, it goes over and banks off the side rail and goes back in the pocket you were shooting at anyways. I've seen it so many times. I've seen it in situations where you're playing call shot and it still counts.
Right.
Because all you have to do is call your pocket. So we should see the 7-ball on the wing there. We should lose that one on the break.
Good chance the one goes in the side too. He's really
trying to hit him to where that doesn't happen, but like that, he wants it coming 3 rails. Okay.
He's wishing the 4 get out of there.
Yeah, it's close. And it looks like it's gotten him just ever so slightly. Similar to the first game.
Yeah, that's
Where
good
we had a
camera work
rollout.
there. You can really see that this is just as tricky as could be.
And the 2 and 9 are a little tied up, but they both go. And it goes to both holes, I think the 2 does. So Shane will sometimes play some interesting thins out right here, but this is more of a kiss, I think. So it's close. If he can thin the 1, though, he can come 1, 2, 3 rails dropping below the 2, 9, and 8 with the cue ball. And kind of just figure the 1's not going to get over a pocket. Most likely, it may go into the 6. It's probably going to get up a little bit. So that may be what you're going to see him do here. But he's got to catch it super thin, or else he's definitely going to catch a kiss.
And you don't want side spin on here because then that gets you into the double kiss out the middle of the table.
It might get you into like the 3-ball with the cue ball possibly too.
Yeah, right.
So it's a real natural hit. Oh, he went rail first, and that was a little more dangerous now. We'll see. Things are rolling good for him. They're rolling good.
I can't fault him on that effort, though. I mean, you had to do something pushing out where you're going to get so much the worst of it that it's better to gamble here.
No, I agree. And really, the rail first made you avoid the kiss. That's the beautiful thing about the rail first. You're never going to kiss the 1 coming out any kind of way. Now, he got it a little heavy and caught the 3, but he was basically trying to play the same shot.
Right. And mercifully, he didn't catch the 3 heavy, which would have taken a lot of pace out of the cue ball. He just grazed it.
Yeah, now this is where he's just got to bank the 1 up on the side of the 3 and lay the cue ball down on the end rail behind the 6. That's okay. Is he going up in the air? Is he trying to knock this around table, or is he banking it in 1 rail? He may be banking this in and drawing his ball. Watch out for this shot, Mark. Knocking it around table is tough, and holding the ball.
Oh, nicely done.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's just you shoot that kind of shot, you have to have a little more guarantee of what's happening. And he hit it great. I mean, he hit it spectacular.
That was one of those in-between strokes where all the backspin's got to come off right at impact.
Right.
And that way you don't put too much pace. You can't club that in the center of the cue ball and get that effect because the 1 ball comes out so powerfully.
Yeah, and he didn't want the 1 to contact the 8, obviously. If he had gotten it around to the other side of the table, things
Big shot here. What an execution by Shane Van Boening. And while he doesn't have the easiest 2-ball, that was a nice. Now he doesn't turn the table over on an unforced error.
No, he's shooting this in the side all day. He may have to wrap the corner a little bit, and the 3 he may have to shoot with some angles. So he's wondering what can I get to here? Can I draw 1 rail towards the 3 and not have to mess with the 9? I don't know.
Want to go corner pocket here.
He's cutting this backwards. Okay.
He keeps looking at it. He's going to measure it first.
Oh, he can kill it. Okay, he's close enough to. He can go right in between the 4-5 with the cue ball. He's ducking. Okay.
Nice.
Wow, I'm surprised he didn't shoot that in the side, but he did such a great job with the duck here.
Yeah.
With the safety.
I think that's why. I think it's much the same as when Mora played safe on the 4-ball earlier. It sticks the cue ball on the 5. Not giving the other guy any air, make him earn every opportunity. No cheap ones. Be aggressive when you have to, but he felt like he didn't have to be aggressive there.
Well, there's a little more value, obviously, here without the jump cues and the safety, that's for sure.
That's true.
Okay, I think he can get to the edge. If he can get to the edge, he's going to try and cut this and bank it back behind the 8 and let the cue ball catch the 9. I think that's all he can do. I don't think he can get the cue ball to escape any kind of way.
Right.
I don't know if you can see this shot I'm talking about, but with a lot of left English, you just bank the 2 back towards the 8, let the cue ball catch the 9 and just kind of drift over, hoping you don't scratch. Just trying not to sell out the game. Oh, so he tried to do the same thing, but he was trying to get some separation and keep the cue ball down there and maybe luck something in.
Yeah. And he found the corner pocket off the back of the 9 that you mentioned could happen.
But with a light stroke, I thought he could knock the 2, just try and bank it on the other side of the 8. You know, it's kind of like a soft safety. If you get the hook, you know the guy's going to hit it.
Right.
But either way, he's going to have to come with a great shot to run out from there.
And a lot of times you don't get the hook, but he's got an easy return.
Right.
You know, he can escape.
But you would rather get another opportunity, right?
Exactly.
So it's all about getting more opportunities in a bad spot. So
he might have viewed the 9 in action as worth it, the risk, because he might feel like he's going to get the worst of it down the way anyway, so maybe it was better go
to
time
take a shot
there.
at the 9 ball there, yeah. A little luck factor. Which is, believe it or not, every now and again, even at this level, is a part of it. A couple times, I remember in my career in big events, I just had to get down. They had me so trapped on the end rail, I just had to blast and see if I could luck a ball in. So no safety, no nothing. So
yeah, there's certainly an occasion where that is your best option.
Now he's got to draw his ball just a little bit up the side rail. Shouldn't be a problem. This is to go up 5-3, and really, there's been, I guess, only one run out, and that was behind a fluke on the 1 ball by Shane. So there's been a few return rolls now by Shane. He's had a few things go his way, but some great safety play.
Yeah, this particular game was won by Shane's safety.
Yeah, the game a minute ago was won as well by Shane's safeties. And a great kick shot, nevertheless.
Yeah.
When John overran the ball getting on the 5.
Good point. Yeah, that was a time, because the difference of ball in hand or this.
Oh, yeah. Much
had
different.
Shane not hit, it pays to hit him. That's all I know.
Yeah. Well, the 5 was a little goofy. I mean, with the 5-8 there, it wasn't a cold-blooded hanger, the combination. So, and then he tried to get short-sided, ended up getting snookered and made a good hit on the ball, but a lot of times that doesn't get it. I'm sure he's going to stick with the side rail here. Got the 1 to come around nicely. There's just the 4 ball that got in the way. So.
5 ball.
Yeah, and the 1's coming. Just a matter of what gets in the way. He's going to get a nice little kiss on the 3, kind of. Again, put him more distance, but it didn't hook him. So, is this a scratch if he rolls this in?
No, it's not a scratch, but it's a.
He's got to get through it a little bit, though, right?
Yeah, he's got some work to do here. I'm sure he'd love to connect on this shot.
Type of shot he's been varying now for quite some time, especially in the big moments.
Smooth. Good cueing action there by Van Boening. I didn't see the poke.
No, well, it's definitely much more timing in that stroke. But it's almost like he knows when it's necessary to get through the cue ball, like you know what I mean, getting to the end rail. That was very important there to beat the scratch. A little bit more of a glancing blow on that 1, even if you make the 1, sometimes you can get a lot of deflection and the cue ball take a bad route.
The only guy in the world that probably hits more balls than Shane Van Boening is Dennis Arcola.
Yeah. Well, it used to be Cliff Joyner back in the day, but believe it or not, nobody hit more balls than Cliff. Okay, that got a little funny. He's a little flat to try and hit it with some speed in the side pocket.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to have to go forward, I think, Mark. Whether he rolls it in the side and takes a thin cut or just goes forward a little bit, shooting in the corner and take a little thinner cut.
Knowing Shane's game, I think he's going 2 cushions up in the corner,
but
short of the 8.
Really? Short of the 8?
I think so. I think he can hit it fat enough and just top spin it.
Yeah, but the thing about, to me, is this table's playing kind of soft. So if you just get anywhere around the head string, the 6 is really not a tough shot, and it's not, and that's fine to go back and forth. Like even there.
Oh, he was muscled that out. Okay, beautiful shot.
Yeah, but even there, I really these players are such a huge favorite, and it's a real natural speed to catch 3 rails going back and forth. Just he's going to hit that 3rd rail just a little bit, I'm assuming.
Looks like he's queuing up low.
Well, he just does that a little bit, and then he comes up a little bit. So, yeah, there you go. He needs a little more, though.
There's the 3rd rail you mentioned.
Yeah. Still, without resting on the rail, there's not too much of a bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
Key to this shot is not to overhit it, but don't let up. Okay, you want to draw on a straight line. When you hit this first rail coming across, you don't want the cue ball to fall downward towards the 8 much. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy. That hurts.
Oh, my.
He might have flinched a little bit, or
Well,
what do they say?
Like you said about him we talked about his stroke and his style and what he's really developed here in the last few years. But I think that creates a little more movement. Oh, my. This isn't a very good shot.
All right.
He's not going to be happy about this, especially on a slick table. You start trying to add speed and a lot of spin, the ball will bend a lot of ways, meaning if he tries to hit this with a lot of high left.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see him creep out, making sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just kind of get it going and creep out towards that side pocket. Oh, he's pounding it. Or is he drawing 3 rails to the other side, 2 rails to the other side?
Yeah, I think he's drawing. But
yeah, that can get away from you, too. Wow.
What a good shot.
What a stroke.
What a good shot that was from such a flat angle. He feels his brow. Surely there was some sweat going on there. And
big shot there.
From what looked like Shane Van Boening 3 games in front.
And breaking.
Now it's 5-4. Mora's breaking.
Yeah, and you might see Mora go to that rail that Shane was breaking from. That one ball seemed to be coming around the kind of way you want to. Really didn't expect that miss by SVB. Nobody in the building did.
No.
It looks to me now that Dennis has grabbed the lead at 4-3 on the outer semifinal. We'll be right back after these 2 conclude to have our final for the 9-ball event. And that'll be our last event here.
Chris is a fun guy. He's always smiling, laughing.
I really like that guy.
How would you not like him? And interesting, he grew up with boys in Appleton, all in like a little 6 or 7 mile radius in England, just an odd place, and all great players.
Yeah, well, no coincidence, probably. Whoever they were around and around each other.
Yeah.
They all became great players. And one thing about Chris is he just always seems so genuine to me anytime I talk to him. And not only just about, whatever it is, great shooting or congratulations, but even if talking about how to improve at pool or one pocket, what do you think about this shot, Jeremy? Or I tried this. You know what I'm saying? He's so enthused in what he's doing.
Yeah.
So. Okay, and we'll see if he can get that 1 to come around. Of course, he wants that 6. It's the ball he's looking to make.
Good break. And they got a nice kiss on the one. Oh, the one
is this
dropped.
gonna-
Look
no.
at this. 4 balls.
He's going to have to make a medium tough shot being on that rail.
For sure that.
Whether he elevates or just rolls it in, or
Yeah.
I don't know if he can roll forward getting to the rail or not. That may be not the way to play it.
I
I think he's going to elevate.
Personally, my attitude when I have this shot is I never mind it because of how many times you come to the table after the break and don't have a shot.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel
yeah.
like I'm stealing something here. I'm going to get a crack at this if I make one good stroke.
No, I'm not one to really be too upset about when I get a shot after the break. Oh, nice shot.
Gorgeous stroke. Good timing.
Yeah, and that's what
That's
I
a
was
hard
talking
shot.
about earlier. He didn't hit it perfect, right? But it gives a lot of room for error
Right.
when you have that good timing with the stroke and you get through that cue ball.
Yeah, you don't miss it wild. You always miss it close. And that
Yeah.
one, he almost missed it. That's how good he hit it. You know,
Right,
he
right.
didn't miss it. Rather than the other way, you almost make it.
Yeah, I kind of tell people it's kind of like Ray Allen. They said he shot the ball so much, or the hoop was so much bigger for him because of his form and his stroke and his technique and timing and everything else was so good that he could hit the bucket a little crudely and compared. And I have to do the same thing when it comes to pool. You'll watch the best players in the world. When they hit the pocket a little crudely, the stroke gets the ball in the hole. It wants to keep going, so it doesn't have that rattle effect like you're punching the ball.
Right.
So.
As evidenced by that first shot.
He got a little flat here, so he's going to have to hit this with a little speed to get the line to come down the table. He's got a little angle, though, which is enough.
Gorgeous
Nice
break
shot.
and run out here to tie the match.
And making 4 on the break. It's going to make for an easy rack overall, even though he had to make some nice shots to get through it.
Good job, Johnny Mora. 5-5 is our score. We're going to have a short player timeout, it looks like. Is that what I'm seeing?
Maybe. I don't think so.
Okay, no, that was wrong. What's next for you, Double J?
Well, I'm playing in a tournament in Laredo, Texas. It's a 24-man smaller tournament. It's kind of like a warm-up before the Texas 10 ball. It should be a nice tournament, though. You should see the list of players. It's kind of like an invitational. And then the Texas State 10 ball event. And then probably the Scotty Townsend Memorial, I'm thinking, in March. There's some events in the Midwest, too, that a good friend of mine was telling me about, so we'll see. Got to get to playing a little better, but that's just going to take some time. Uh-oh. Ooh, you should have seen this 8-ball that Melling looked like he missed for sure and almost stood up. Now at 4 games apiece.
During your travels, you know you're going to come to Lindenwood and stay with me for a few days, right?
Yeah, sometime or another. I know with Ray, I'll probably come with Ray at some time or another. I know he goes up there a bit. And it sounds like we might lose Shark back to Singapore, huh? So that's what he was telling me.
Tiffy, yeah.
I hope not.
I know it's going to be a heck of a loss for the pool community here. Now here we go, 5-ball on the wing.
We had a 3-0 lead for Mora to start out, and 5 in a row for Shane. Now 2 in a row for John and breaking. Okay, little kiss on the cue ball. Another kiss on the 1, interesting enough. But a cross corner that John is definitely shooting at.
Yeah.
He doesn't pass on many makeable banks. Made a great one earlier in the match on the 2-ball long rail.
Sure did. That was smooth.
And this one, it doesn't. There's some gaps there as far as the safety, But he kind of needs to hit it with that safety kind of speed anyway to hold position. He can't just go all out. So he's going to give it a good chance to go, but you won't see him fire this, I don't think, unless he runs the cue ball maybe and decides to cut the two in the other corner. We'll see. Like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think the bank and the position played the best that way.
Yeah, well, and that's yeah, exactly. And the main thing was the bank.
Right.
The bank was like a more natural hit that way. So don't if it wants to do it naturally, if you can go that way, even if you need to help it with a little bit of English here and there, or a little bit of speed or draw.
Yeah.
That's always best. Don't try and fight the natural way it wants to go unless you have to.
Yeah, as soon as you start to distort those, then they become very missable.
And you'll see both players well over 800 on your AccuStat rating. Shane hovering close to 900. And he's got to manufacture some position here.
Just
Nice
go for the
shot.
side.
Nice shot.
That was a good decision there.
Yeah, well, just eliminating really taking any chances. And you'll see later in the rack there is a 7-9 that's pretty makeable, or you can definitely get position on it, but it'll be a thought. And Shane really, I wouldn't call it praying, but certainly hoping to get another shot here in this match. I know it's only 5-5, and this rack isn't even done, but you could see he knows John's capable of running these last 4 or 5 racks, that's for sure.
Right.
Looks to me he's going to play with an angle on the 6 to come across for short side on the 7.
Very hardworking player, John Mora. Good speed. He's going to release from the side cushion. That gives him great latitude, even if he falls straight.
Yeah, that's a big key. If you watch all the great players through the years, I used to watch a lot of tapes of Nick and Buddy and Siegel and Dennis Hatch and Johnny, and they just always, you know, when they're really on their game, they just rarely ever fell on the rail on simple shots, meaning shots you're not supposed to fall on the rail. They're real conscious of making sure they could cue the ball.
Yeah.
Of course, years ago, the felt was a little slower, so if you were falling on the rail, you were really dead meat.
Yeah. Well, this was a high-quality rack here by John Mora. He was never threatened. And his TPA cruises above pro average, 857. Takes the lead, 6-5.
Dennis has got a long 3-ball here at 4 games apiece over there. Should make it, but gotta come down the table in position's not easy.
Still a great audience here.
Yeah, it's thinned a little bit today as far as the overall, the entire venue. But as far as here in the arena and as far as the sweaters for the tournament matches, it's been great.
We really need a bigger venue. We've outgrown this. We could sell more tickets right now. You can't promote ticket sales because we're maxed out. So,
Right.
which is really a shame for the growth of our sport. We need more people here just for that. Okay, 5-ball in the wing.
Yeah, I want the one to hit just past that side pocket, coming around somewhere around where the cue ball's at now would be ideal. It's been getting a little bit of a kiss below the head string, so we'll see. Oh, he made the one, but the 2's going to end up nice, it looks like.
3 balls, a very playable position.
Oh, yeah, and he's got a perfect straight-in angle, I think, where he can draw all the way back down table if he elects to. Now, he doesn't have to. And if it's not sitting really nice, he won't. But, well, it sure makes things easy if he can draw back to that in rail, just boom, getting right on the 4 in the corner to come down for the 6.
Here on the overhead, he has just a hint towards the side pocket. Doesn't it look like?
Yeah, it looks like it made the cue
So
ball
now
maybe.
that makes this all in play, so he may have to go top spin.
Well, top spin makes it missable, too. So because he's the fuller you are to make it move, you have to hit it with more speed, more strokes. So big shot here.
Cannot hit heavy on the 8.
Wow, what a shot. And I'll tell you what, John's just fearless. I'm not saying that I wouldn't tried it or if it needed to be or whatever, but you could have pinched it back and cut the 3 in from above the 9, you know, with the inside and come straight back down the table. But this certainly makes things just so much easier. Now he's going to try and come out for an angle, I think, to get for the 6 in the corner after shooting the 4. He's got to be aware of not only going too far, but don't get over the 9.
Right.
Trying to mess around here, because you can always play the 6 in the side. Or get a lot of angle like that. Now, I still think he's a huge favorite, but now he's going to have to hit this with like a lighter speed. Should be okay. Thing is, I think he has to throw it a bit too. Anytime you have to add a little bit of English throwing the ball so you can slow the cue ball down, makes it missable. Oh,
beautiful shot.
What a great shot.
Good speed, too. That made the shot play just a little bit better than trying to be cute and just roll it in.
Yeah, but he made that look easy. That's a tough shot, hitting that center draw, but not making it really draw and just come straight back and forth and keeping it on a line where it doesn't go forward on you either. Any miss hit right there could have not only come behind the 8, but you could actually let it go and scratch in the side also. So Jason Shaw is so good at that shot.
Right.
And he can do it from distance that's just so amazing that most people stay away from it. It's a very effective shot if you have it in your arsenal and you're real comfortable with it, especially when the pressure's on, but it's hard to pull the trigger with it. And Shane's really hoping for another shot now.
Yeah.
Just at some time or another. It doesn't matter if it's 8-5. That's for sure.
Yeah, second consecutive break and run out here for Mora.
Oh, yeah. He was just in the Texas area. Just at the end of the summer, around Labor Day, early September. And he ran so many racks from the break.
Yeah.
It was just amazing, really.
He is a tough customer. What happened? How did he get this inning anyway? Do you remember what did Shane? Shane did something that was unforced error.
Yeah, he missed
right?
the 6 ball. Right?
Trying to remember where it was.
Yeah, he got a little bit behind it, and we said he's going to cut that ball and go 3 rails back and forth. He missed the 7 ball, not the 6. He cut the 6 down the rail.
Yeah.
And he jarred the 7, and John got a little bit straight on the 8 and drew the ball a couple rails with a nice shot, and then broke ran 2. So actually, I think he broke ran 3. Didn't he?
2 for sure. And
let's see, he banked the 1 last game, correct?
Right. Yeah, that's for sure correct.
Yeah, he had a shot on the 1 2 different times, I think, because the other time he got froze on the side rail. Not froze, but on the side rail, and he had to elevate and knock the 3 in the lower corner.
True. Yeah, I remember that.
So I'm pretty
one.
sure after missing that made it 5-4. Shane was looking at going up 6-3.
Right.
and then he hasn't shot since.
So,
And he's not too much of an underdog to not shoot anymore at all. I don't think he is. I mean, he's a little favorite to shoot again, but
right.
but it doesn't have to happen. That's for sure.
Mora definitely has the big momentum going his way, and he's breaking tremendous. That's really more likely where the turnover comes. He's going to have to push out after one of these breaks.
Yeah, an unlucky kiss or something on the break, maybe, or
right,
something like this, something unforeseen. And on the outer table, the other semi with Dennis Okoye is taking a 5-4 lead.
I might like to add one thing here that the 9 days is starting to take a toll on the commentators' fitness area.
Oh.
You're asking me questions. I'm trying to remember what happened there. But doing this for 9 days straight.
Well, we got it on video, so it's all good.
Yes.
We can figure that one out for sure. And we got 4 countries, different countries represented here in the Final
That's
Four.
cool.
Yeah, I always liked seeing that. I mean, I like the Americans, don't get me wrong, more. But it's always neat to see
Diversity.
Looks like Dennis made like 4 on the break and scratched. Uh-oh, that's the cue ball. He almost lost the cue ball there.
The wing ball didn't go in, but something did. The two ball did, way back in the corner.
I think the one goes by the 3, and it cuts on the side thinly as well. So he's just really one shot away from breaking and running out again. You'll notice the rest of the rack.
Yeah.
Rest of the rack is pretty easy.
And the 3 makes this play a little bit easier, too, because it's right in front of you. So if you go in the corner, you just got to drag it behind the side pocket a little bit, and you're good.
Yeah, looking at that angle, I'm wondering if the 1 really is cut. The 3 has the 1 cut off a little bit. Maybe he doesn't have an entire pocket. But to watch John will use that long stroke and not go to the side rail. He'll hold the ball a lot of times in this spot. I love it. Like that. Oh.
He held it too much.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay, whew, sigh of relief for Big Hoss here for Team USA. This is a treacherous shot right here. It's buried deep,
Yeah. And
it's not that easy.
No, it's not that easy. And I would this is where you try to figure out how can I simply get shape. What's the simplest way I can get to a shot on the 3, a decent shot, meaning I'm off the rail.
Yep.
So if he goes rail first right here, he could have problems. If he hits it hard, meaning trying to go around, he could go right into that 9. Now, if he hits it soft rail first, I like that. I like. Yeah, nice shot there. Good decision.
Earlier today, we had that exact shot, and I can't remember which player it was, but they missed the entire ball, gave a ball in hand.
Wow.
Trying to go rail first, it was buried in there deep, and they wanted the cue ball come around a little hot, so they didn't want to hit it much. Yeah. Sure was a problem. Shane did not like his approach. I don't know if there was a distraction in the room or something, but he got back up.
That's what I had to guess there. Really routine shot here. He just lays perfect to go to the rail with just with straight high ball. Still though, even a shot like that, he punches a little more than I probably would, but that's can't fault him. I know that.
No.
It's amazing how much the break has come in. It's always been a big part of our game. People say the break these days. It's always been a big part of our game. But it's like even at like maybe 8-6 here, if he gets out, I know it'll only be 7-6. But even if it makes it 8-6, I almost feel like Shane's still the favorite because he's getting to break the balls. When Chris Melling had run out behind Dennis's scratch on the break to make it 5-5, but then scratch right behind him.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Good shot there, but he had the power up, and that makes that pocket awfully small, and he still didn't get real close to the 8.
No, this is missable a little bit. I know people might say, how's this missable? But it's just a little off angle. There's certain angles in pool that there's not a lot of angle. There's not, but there is some. It's just comes a little flat. You have to pay attention.
Yeah, the pocket opening's not full here. You're only hitting
Like
part
that,
of the pocket.
But that's it. Well, there's certain angles that you're always worried about the collision between cue ball and object ball, meaning they can grab more. If you're straight in and you're not worried about the skid, if you have a lot of angle and you can let your stroke out, you're not worried about the skid. But that kind of angle to where you have to kind of roll the ball a little, and you're hitting like a 3/4 ball, that's the one you're worried about. Wow, still didn't expect him to miss it. But you could tell before he got down on it, he wasn't super in love with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that pocket opening isn't full width there, so if you graze anything at all, that's what can happen, you know, unless the cloth is super new where it lets it slide on in there, but cloth is not super new at this point. Mora takes advantage of the unforced error. He now needs one game and leads 8-5. Big turn of events there. Look at the rack track. 3 for Mora, 5 for Van Boening, 5 for Mora.
Yeah. Well, Shane will need more than 3 right here. If he'll need 4 to get what he wants done. If you're just joining us, this is the semifinal of the 20th and 2018 Derby City Classic 9-ball championships. We're down to 4 players with no rebuys left. So essentially, this is the 2 semifinal matches going on, and won't be long we'll have the final. John, realizing this is his last break, I want to put maximum effort in here. When it's your last break, too, don't sweat it so much. Like, don't take something off of it, worrying about, oh, I don't want to scratch, this and that. And this is where you don't necessarily add more, but keep doing what you're doing. Don't change a thing.
So you can say he just set dead red and to give it a good rip, right?
Right.
All right, here we go.
Well, he's going to hit him, but that's what he's been doing. But, you know, sometimes I've even found myself, I let the scratch thought enter, and then I take something off of it, and then I dry break, and I never shoot again. So got to learn from those things. Still be the same aggressive you've been.
So 6 ball in like a bullet.
Well, the 1 ball's coming around now. He's going to get a tough shot. We'll see if the 8's going to tie up on top of the 3. Nope. Okay, so he's pretty much one incredible shot away from getting maybe shape on the 2, and still got a lot of work though. Look at a 3, 5, 8.
Yeah.
And the 4 way back down. So
this is a ball that doesn't look like he can cinch it. He's going to have to dig in there and bring that cue ball back kind of on the line from a diamond below the side pocket.
I look at it differently here.
Okay.
I might look at it to where I can shoot the 2 and go into the 3.
And send it over by the 9?
Yeah, and really you're going to only hit an edge of it and come up with the cue ball. Like, I think you can calculate that pretty well. And that's a little easier to get on than trying to get straight in on this 2.
Way easier to pocket the 1 as well.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's way easier to make the 1 and get on that angle on the 2. And because you'll see the 5-8 getting from the 3 to the 4 to the 5-8. You got some issues. So it's not often you want to move balls, but this may be one of the situations.
I like the thought process here, and
you may get a 3-9 combination early too. So I just hate to go down missing this ball trying to really do something crazy.
And just what you said, it could be your last turn. You don't have to get another good shot from here.
I like him going into this ball right here. Now, I don't want to have to draw on it. I wish he would have gotten a little further out in the middle to where he could just easily deflect into that ball, because the cue ball will run away easier off the 3, meaning get up for position.
You really want to make sure that you go rail first if you can into the 3, because that lets the cue ball free of the 8.
From this angle, you do. But if you were like a little more over, you would like to go into a little piece of the ball first. But since you're having to draw it now, that becomes different. Should be okay, though. Yeah, that's what I like for sure.
Just what you said, too. He might even get
Yeah, he got a billiard, an easy one, too. I know. I mean, it's with a little right ball. That's a hanger. But now, just depends on if he feels like he can get a good shot on that 3 to the 4.
It's a little tough to transition to the 4. I think I would take my chance here.
Yeah, with a little throw, right? Just a little right English.
But he's not. He's going. I don't think he is. No, he is. He's going 9 ball.
Yeah, he didn't look for position, so I'm guessing he's going for the carom. He needs to throw it a little bit, though. Nice shot.
Yeah,
nice
hit the heart of the pocket. And John Mora, a high-quality performance there throughout. Van Boening really just a couple little mistakes in there. One of the mistakes didn't get punished. He rattled the 1 ball across the table, got out. But
yeah, he missed a 7 ball and an 8 ball, really, that he'll think about. Might have cost him this 2018 Derby City Classic, but nevertheless, another incredible finish by Shane. And we'll see John here shortly.
Yeah, top 4. Well, thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Mark.
This has been ACCUSTATS video presentation. Thank you for sitting in with us today. That is our time for this time. Until next time, so long and adios.
Introducing Lucasi Hybrid, a whole new level of performance and technology. A cue with the revolutionary X-Shocks dampening system, eliminating vibration. G5 grip technology for enhanced traction and stability results in maximum cue control. Total sweet spot construction means unmatched power. And the Zero Flex Point ferrule provides dead-on accuracy, giving you the confidence you need in every shot. Lucasi Hybrid, the only cue that matters.